Hi, I'm Joanne Crapo, and I'm the CEO for the Girl Scouts of Maine. The Thanks Badge recognizes volunteers whose service has had an exceptional and measurable impact on the entire Council or Girl Scout movement. Helping girls discover their leadership potential would not be possible without adults who are dedicated and strong and serve as mentors and role models to guide girls and ensure that building girls of courage, confidence, and character rings true in everything we do. This year's Thanks Badge 1 and Thanks Badge 2 honorees have opened up opportunities for girls to travel the world and become global citizens, led wilderness adventures, brought girls together from across the state to talk about global issues, and created other once-in-a-lifetime experiences for Girl Scouts in Maine. Congratulations on achieving this very well-deserved and prestigious award.
Michelle Carr, Girl Scouts of Maine. When asked about why they continue volunteering with Girl Scouts, most adults respond, "For the girls." Michelle Carr also responds with "For the girls," but then adds so much more. The short paraphrased version is to help girls experience the things she did as a girl growing up here in Maine. Hiking, camping, archery, swimming, and all the other outdoor activities available here. And this is exactly what she did last summer. Michelle's volunteer involvement as the lead counselor for our Maine Wilderness Adventure Challenge destination benefited our council and camps by bringing girls from across the country to Maine, and benefited Girl Scouts nationally by providing an exceptional once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for 12 girls on a destination in Maine. It was an extraordinary experience for them, but not the only one she's created for girls last year, before, or since. Last June, Michelle traveled for 4 days to Montreal with a troop of girls she didn't know but who needed a second adult in order to travel. This came long after her daughters had graduated high school, when she could have told troops and the service unit she was done. When asked why she continues, Michelle's answer is simple. There are always girls who need leaders. There are always girls who need a chance to reach their potential. There are always new skills to learn, and there are always girls who need to see that they can make the world a better place.
Hi, I want to say thank you to Michelle Carr for everything she has done for the Girl Scouts of Maine, from her time spent with her troop, her service unit Chickadee, the Destinations Girls, and Camp Natarsley. Michelle, you are truly amazing. I look forward to our next adventure together, and I just want to say congratulations for receiving the Thanks Badge. It's truly well deserved.
Hi, Michelle. Congratulations on your award. It is so very well deserved. And thanks, really, it just doesn't seem to be enough for all that you do and the huge impact that you have on Girl Scouts as a whole throughout Maine, as well as individual lives throughout your time in Girl Scouts and your continued time in Girl Scouts. I really can think of a great story as far as to illustrate the difference in your willingness to do anything really to make things happen for girls. So for the GSME Goes to Montreal, there was a troop that wasn't able to have their second leader come, and they wouldn't be able to take the trip without somebody else. So when I reached out and asked, you said, well, of course, I'd love to, and you volunteered to meet with that troop ahead of time, even though you'd never met them before, to really get to know the girls. And you bonded with them and really helped them and had a great time on the trip and allowed that experience to happen for them. That is, of course, one of many stories that I could tell, and I really just want to say congratulations and thank you for all that you do.
Donna Ruger, Girl Scouts of Maine. Donna Ruger has been instrumental in the success of Amazing Girl Scout Adventures, the statewide older girl camporee offered in August 2019. She jumped to volunteer as the committee chair, no small feat in a local committee, but amplified many times coordinating a committee spread about the state, helping the committee members to stay focused on creating activities and opportunities to push girls while still being fun. This huge responsibility was an add-on to her numerous other commitments in Girl Scouts. As the Arnold Trail Service Unit Manager and as a GSME learning facilitator, Donna encourages and mentors leaders work with their troops by leading monthly meetings and co-facilitating regional classes and workshops. She models collaboration in real time for adult volunteers to see and experience how to make partnerships work in service of our goals and mission. She also models successful work with a troop of teen girls. Donna's troop seeks and earns their adventures, which include repeat trips to Operation Snowflake, a winter outdoor camping challenge, a camporee in Canada, and an upcoming trip to Australia and New Zealand. Donna has also helped these girls not only with ideas, but with support and education. She's assisted in money-earning campaigns for several of these girls to travel abroad. She's taught several of these girls how to sew and do simple embroidery stitches. She's supported these girls as they perform community service. She has marched beside them as they've demonstrated their pride for country and for Girl Scouts. In her service, Donna has gone above and beyond the call of her duty to Girl Scouts.
Congratulations on earning the Thanks Badge, Donna.
Congratulations, Donna.
Thank you so much for all that you've done for Girl Scouts over the years.
Congratulations, Donna, on your Thanks Badge. It is well deserved. You have worked tirelessly on 2 camporees for older girls. You also work tirelessly for your girls and this trip to Australia that you're taking with all the money earning that you have done. I am very, very proud to have you in one of my service units. Congratulations again on an honor well earned.
Tammy Fisher, Girl Scouts of Maine. The state of Maine, and specifically Girl Scouts of Maine, is beyond fortunate to have Tammy Fisher's talent, time, vision, commitment, can-do attitude, consistency, skill, and dedication. She benefits our organization, the girls, the volunteers, the staff, and our goals. Tammy has served Girl Scouts of Maine directly in many ways. After many years of service in first the Merry Meeting Service Unit and then the Chickadee Service Unit with troops of girls and many leaders, Tammy's most recent standout service has been with the Girl Scout Adventure Camporee, with Girls on the Go, and as our Global Action Volunteer. All of these projects have successfully given girls new opportunities, and Tammy has created succession plans so that they're ongoing. That's typical of Tammy, but not everyone. Tammy has a vision of an opportunity for girls, works hard to bring it to life by finding the means and the collaborators to pull that vision together, invites others to help develop it, and then passes the baton to others to carry on. She has created opportunities for girls to travel within the U.S. and beyond that they would not have had otherwise. She has made it possible for girls to imagine stretching beyond what they know to what they dream, and has coached them to build their skills, prepare their plans, and earn their way to make it happen. She has also done the same for adult volunteers and given them tools to be able to support and prepare girls themselves. Tammy has a broad view of what is possible and the patience and experience to create systems that will serve in the moment and evolve as called to. She understands the power of girls and the value of positive, prepared, and empowering adults who can support them. Most of all, she generously shares that understanding and confidence to make the world a better place.
Hi, Tammy. Congratulations on earning the Thanks Badge. Although thanks doesn't seem like enough to say for everything that you do for the council, for girls, for leaders, for service units, from planning statewide events to all of your work with the Global Action Programming and Global Action Team, to preparing leaders and girls to experience travel and have once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. This is so well deserved and so well earned. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Tammy, on your Thanks Badge 2 award. I want to say thank you personally for creating Girls on the Go, the Girl Scout Adventure Camporee, and everything that you are doing with the Global Action Committee. You are a great asset to the great state of Maine. Congratulations, Tammy.
The 3 women we're honoring this year have been committed, long-term Girl Scout volunteers. It is our privilege to honor them with the highest adult volunteer recognition. I had the pleasure of joining our honorees for a conversation discussing their experiences as Girl Scout volunteers, which we'd like to share as an inspiration for all volunteers. Again, thank you for all you do. We're so grateful for your tremendous commitment, endless enthusiasm, and your loyalty to Girl Scouts. Well, welcome, ladies. It is my pleasure to chat with you about your Girl Scout experience, and especially to congratulate you on being a recipient of the highest adult award, the Thanks Badge. So I'm going to ask just some, I think, easy questions. I will kind of do it round robin style. And so my first question will go to Donna. And I just want to ask you, how did you become involved in Girl Scouting?
Well, I was a Girl Scout as a girl through 9th grade, and then I had a daughter and said, this is something we should do. And here I am 20 years later.
That's great. How about you, Tammy?
My daughter was a Brownie, and then we moved to Texas, and she wanted to continue in Girl Scouts. And the only way for her to continue was basically parents had to step up. And since I wasn't working, I actually volunteered to be a leader.
Excellent. That's good. And Michelle?
I too was a Girl Scout as a young girl. And I don't know if many of you know this, but I was a assistant leader in college. I had a big and a little. I was a big to a girl while I was at UMF. And like Tammy's situation, they needed some leaders. So I said, sure, why not? So I did that for a little while I was in Farmington. And then when my own girls got of the age, I decided, again, need to have a leader to have your girls be involved in Girl Scouting. So that's how I got started with my older daughter's troop.
Very good. Well, Michelle, let me continue with you. All of your daughters are actually adults now, I believe. And I believe they're lifetime members as well, which is fabulous. So why did you continue volunteering with Girl Scouts after they, left the organization as young girls anyway?
I had already had some younger troops that I had kind of inherited, I guess I would say. Some leaders for various reasons had to get done leading them. And so I was like, well, I just can't stand to not have a girl continue as long as she wants. So I kind of picked them up. But I also have to say that it's a little selfish. I enjoy Girl Scouting. I love being involved and I love working with the girls. And it fulfills, I guess, a need that I have to still be young and active with them. So I think I get as much out of it as my troop gets from me.
That's great. How about you, Tammy?
I have to agree somewhat with what Michelle just said, that I love doing it. But basically for me, it was an easy progression. When we moved back to Maine, my daughter was not in my troop. And I really enjoyed the junior level and the programming at the junior level and really wanted to work with that level. So I went out and asked for a troop, which wasn't hard. There was girls waiting. And then when those girls got ready to bridge up to cadets, usually I just let them go to another troop. But this one troop came along and said, would you continue with us? So I continued through high school with them. And then a friend of mine had a granddaughter who was coming out of Brownies into juniors, and she didn't have a troop to go to. So the grandmother asked if I would start another troop. And I did, and I followed that troop up through high school. So that's how I continued.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is for you, Tammy. Each of you have really been so instrumental in offering older girl programming, especially in the outdoors and travel. What led you to do this? How about you, Tammy?
Outdoors and in the travel, Basically, I will take a phrase from one of my older girl troops. I think that it broadens their horizons and it takes them out of the comfort zone. I like doing programming for older girls, and that's what really the outdoor programming and the travel that I've been involved with really offers. I believe it really challenges and engages the girls physically and mentally, and it takes them beyond what they encounter each day.
Absolutely. What are some places that you've gone to with Girl Scouts, Tammy?
Oh, I've gone to Costa Rica, I've gone to Italy and Greece, I've gone to Pax Lodge, our chalet, Paris, all kinds. Oh, Savannah, Georgia. So, yes.
That's great. Wow, what great experiences for those girls. And how about you, Donna?
I forget the question.
I'm sorry, about working with older girls and going, doing outdoor programming or traveling. Yeah.
So I firmly believe from my own experience as a girl, we didn't travel far, but the things that happened outside of that church hall was what kept me involved. And I believe it's the sense of adventure that keeps older girls involved. And by doing older girl programming, my girls only know their secret as a Girl Scout because my daughter's troop, it was a secret at school. It wasn't something publicly known. But by doing some of the programming that we went to, they saw lots of people shared their secret. And that was important to me because I think that's why they stay.
A real bonding experience on a different level. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. How about you, Michelle?
So for me, the outdooring really became something as a family we did also. But I kind of have to say that I kind of got hooked on the outdoor skills when my daughter wanted to go up to Natarsuit for the first time. I actually never attended Camp Natarsuit as a girl. My sisters did. And it was kind of funny because they were of those years when there was no dining hall. They were in those couple of years where they had to do all the outdoor cooking. So I had gone to a different camp as a child, but I never got to experience Girl Scout camp myself as a girl. So when, again, I kind of was invited, come on up, we need extra help. I went up and I just fell in love with it. And then I realized there was so much for me to learn as a person, but also some skills that I had that I could give to the girls. And I took what I had learned those first few years and decided, hey, why can't I do that here at Chickadee with my own service unit and start providing opportunities for the girls just in my local area. So we, that's how our Summer Sizzler really got started, was me wanting to give some opportunities to the local girls that couldn't get to camp. And then with travel, Tammy and I had this crazy idea way back, Tammy. I can't even think, I know you're giggling right now. I can't even remember. I think maybe it was one of the DC trips that we're like, we need to do this more often and offer even bigger opportunities for these girls. My daughter was very fortunate, my older daughter, Michaela, to go to Chicago for the Girl World Forum. And I was able to travel with her. And it's just the experiences that these girls get from traveling, from meeting girls, not even just within our state, because when we take those big trips, they meet each other from the top of Maine to the bottom of Maine, but being able to go and meet girls from all these other states, just traveling in the US, and then when they get to go with Tammy to these countries, the things they see and do, it just opens their ideas and lets them see there's so much out there for them to do.
Absolutely. And I believe, Michelle, that you did a special program at Natarsuit last summer?
Yes, I did. It was it was awesome. Again, another one of those crazy ideas. I think poor Tree had listened to me forever being like, we need to be a destination. We need to be a destination. I think she heard it from me for like probably 7-8 years. And I kept telling Tammy and I kept telling Dawn and I kept telling all these people, why are we not a place for kids to come, for girls to come? We have a very unique, it's in the background here, right? We have a very unique setting that no other people get to experience. Why are we not giving that opportunity to others from around the United States to experience. And so yes, having these girls come, the 10 girls from all these different locations in the state of the United States, and getting to hear what they're like, their experiences through Girl Scouts are like, their traditions. Again, I feel like I learned more from those girls than they learned from me. Determination, persistence is a big thing that they learned. And it was just a real eye-opener for me. I think because I got a chance to share some Maine with these girls, you know, gave them a little moxie, gave them a little whoopie pie, but we got to give them some real good Maine experience. And I really hope that those girls go home to their states and are able to share that experience so other people want to come see Maine, because it's a great place.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you've created some new ambassadors for us in the general sense, so that's great. Well, now all of you are Girl Scouts learning facilitators, and you also work on your service teams. What led you to want to work on the state level with adults? And I'll ask Donna that question.
Sure. Having been active with new leaders for a long time, I realized, you know, when you first say, sure, I'll be a leader, there's a lot of stuff that they're comfortable with, you know, and they have lots and lots of very good questions. They're a bit timid and shy. And so knowing that I have this wealth of information, as well as I like to teach, it's part of what I do as a professional, to share that information so that we can continue to develop leaders that are confident and brave to do the things our girls challenge us to take on. I mean, I never thought I'd ride a zip line. However, I did it once.
Same question for you, Michelle.
Sure. Again, I'm kind of like Donna and Tammy. Both of them are just outstanding facilitators. I love being in on their sessions. I love listening to what those ladies have to offer. I think it was early on, I honestly, I'm trying to think of, maybe it was Christine or someone said to me, why are you not teaching other leaders? And I'm like, I don't know, is that a thing? I remember thinking, really? You know, I am a teacher. That is my trade. And so maybe it's just easier, like Donna said, because we do it every day. But I like to start sessions saying, you know, I'm not an expert. I have just as much to learn as any new leader, but these are some things I've done, and these are some of the things I've tried along the way, and these are some things that I've learned from other leaders that hopefully by, you know, offering those opportunities, leaders will stick to it and find the passion that we all have. I remember early on, we were going to sessions and people would be like, oh, there's only going to be a couple of leaders there, new leaders. What do you think? Are you still going? I'm like, hey, 2 new leaders being taught or being facilitated is 2 more leaders out there, right? So I enjoy getting to know the leaders around the state. I enjoy getting to share what I know and just giving them an opportunity to be able to ask questions.
And how about you, Tammy?
Well, I could echo the same thing that both of them said. I love to teach, and I love to share my experience and my skills with other leaders and to hear what they have to say. And, you know, a lot of what I've learned actually came from the girls. They're the ones that taught me. And like Donna said, I would have never zipped line if it hadn't been for those girls. And I had to be the first one because they weren't going to do it until I did it. You know, and jumping off that cliff in Costa Rica to first zip line and then jumping off to go into that river to whitewater raft it. I'm scared of heights, but I did it. And, you know, you explain that to other leaders, you know, that's what leading is, and that's why you're a trainer, really, too, is you talk about the experiences you have with the girls, and that brings it down to that they can do it too.
So you have to get out of your own comfort zone many times to be the leader.
Right. And you
Absolutely.
tell them what goes wrong. You know, that Dutch oven cake that you cooked that was supposed to be a nice cake and it's all runny, and what do you do with it? You throw the ice cream in it and everybody grabs a spoon and eats right out of the Dutch oven. You know?
If I can segue from what Tammy just said, you know, I think that's one of the things each of us would say that we try to share with our new leaders is some of the best things that have happened because they were mistakes. You know,
Yeah.
Some of the greatest learning for girls and leaders have been, hey, we tried to do it that way, but it ended up this way, you know? And I know Donna has the same experiences, you know? You try to follow what the badge work is saying, you try to do what the journey is asking, but something happens. And I think that's a great lesson for leaders and girls to understand that you go with what you can do and you fix it along the way. And, you know, Albert Einstein didn't make the light bulb the first time around.
Absolutely. That's a great comment.
Absolutely.
Well, Michelle, let me stick with you on this question. How has, you know, Girl Scouts service made an impact on you, personally or professionally?
Personally, it has really grounded me. I want to say that. Being a teacher, you know, I have a set standards, I have the Common Core I've got to do. With Girl Scouting, I feel like I'm teaching girls some very important life skills, some very important, what we would call soft skills, right? Those skills that sometimes at school I don't get the opportunity to teach. So the determination, like I mentioned before, persistence, being able to be a good communicator, a goal setter, you know, being able to be somebody that people trust and can rely on, and you know, all of those core values that we have in Girl Scouts. Being able to make the world a better place. You know, I always say to my girls, what are the things today you did that are part of, you know, Girl Scouts? And for me, the kids will say, well, for you, Mrs. Carr, it's using your resources wisely, because they love that I can always pull junk out of anywhere and make it into something, and making the world a better place. And I think that for me, it really makes me consistently think to myself, am I being the best Girl Scout every day? When I get up and I go out there into the world, am I being what is a representation of what a Girl Scout should be?
Very good. How about you, Donna?
Well, I find that my girls, they keep me current. As I said, they keep me challenged. And the things that I've enjoyed most is, you know, I had a young girl who was lived and didn't have a car, and we went to Acadia, and she looked out the window and said, oh, it's so beautiful here. And I said, you need to understand that there's a big world waiting to welcome you with open arms beyond the neighborhood that you live in. And that's so rewarding. And then they come back and, you know, they get their driver's license, and we celebrate graduation, which is tonight. And then job references, and people go, so how do you know this young lady? And I'm like, well, I'm a Girl Scout leader. You're her what? They say. You know, it's people are a little taken back when these kids are 17, 18 years old, because they don't realize that we really have girls that stay with us that long. So, and then they have families and we stay involved. It's been a joy.
That's great. How about you, Tammy?
Well, I'm going to approach this a little bit different. After high school, I went into the U.S. Navy. So, being in the military, you saw things black and white, right or wrong. There was no gray ground. There was no middle ground. All right? And that's when I started Girl Scouts as a leader. The girls really, really taught me to look at situations differently. They taught me patience. They taught me to chill out, to enjoy my time, to have fun, and to take time to be silly, to go jump in that mud puddle when it was raining when we were camping, you know, to really take the time to enjoy what you're doing right then and there. And I hadn't been doing that until I had a Girl Scout troop, really.
That's wonderful. So Tammy, let me stick with you on this question. Do you have one or two favorite memories from your Girl Scout service you'd like to share?
I would say the most favorite memories for me would be camping at or staying in Wentworth Lodge at Camp Pondicherry during the winter. And if you've never done that, you use the outdoor potty, so the outdoor toilet. There's no running water, there's no electricity. You heat the place with a wood stove and you cook on the wood stove. But we had so much fun building snowmen, playing board games, really just talking and just bonding and just all kinds of stuff. That is probably the one thing when I talk to the girls, they're like, we should have a reunion at Wentworth Lodge. That's the one thing I remember more than anything.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. How about you, Donna?
Well, the exposing girls to things that they haven't seen and done and see them be braver than I. And probably the thing that we have the most memories, not all of them fond, was the Canadian Jamboree that I took to the girls to in 2017. We arrived to a pretty big challenge of mud and proceeded to try and figure out how to navigate our gear about a mile and those things. But I know that those young ladies came home a completely different person. My co-leader had said, I don't think I can do this. And I'm like, we're here, we will do this. And overall, once it dried out a little bit and we found our way, it was a pretty amazing experience.
That's great. And Michelle, how about you?
Sure. So I have some memories with each of my daughters. I think with Michaela, it would be that trip to Chicago. That was just very life-changing for both of us, to meet the people from 174 countries and have that experience. With Krista, it probably was the trip to Savannah. We took the EF tour trip to Savannah and being able to spend time with her. And, the DC trips have all been wonderful. But if I think of one encapsulating memory that stands out and why I'm a leader, and I try not to tear up when I share this story, I've actually shared it with at the Pearl of Wisdom before. It is the young lady that we went to Monkey See, Monkey Do. And when we got there, it was with my daughter Krista's troop. Everybody kind of paired up, and this one young lady, my daughter had said, well, I'll go with you to this little girl. And she's like, okay, but then it still left an odd number. And I said, whoa, I'm going with her. I'm going with her. And she was like, really, Mrs. Carr, you're going to go with me up this? I'm like, yes, and we're going to go as far as you want to go. Well, I did not know this girl was going to go the whole way. I did the entire Monkey See and Monkey Do, if you don't know this place. But it was probably we were getting closer and closer to the top of this. And I am shaking. I am shaking. And I looked at this young lady, her name is Harley. And I said, Harley, because she was calling me Mrs. Carr. I'm like, Harley, we got to change our names. I'm like, Juliet Gordon Lowell, she had a camp name. We need names. I said, because we're having a life experience here. And she goes, okay. So we came up with Monkey 1 and Monkey 2. And to this day, this young lady is 20 years old. If she sees me in the community, she refers to me as Monkey 2. And, that day she shined. She was the only one, dragging me along, I might add, that made it the entire way to the top, over to this special zip line that there was. She got to do something that none of the other kids did. And I think of that moment of her pushing me to keep going, because let me tell you, I would have stayed down a little bit lower. But that was just such a life-changing for her and for me, right? And to this day, like I said, she sees me out and about and she's like, hey, Monkey 2, how's it going? So to me, that's just one of those moments that's why I'm a leader, is because of giving opportunities to girls that they wouldn't be able to do.
Well, clearly this talk that we've had really demonstrates to me and everyone else, I hope, that you have really made significant changes in girls' lives in the state of Maine. And I just want to congratulate you all on something that is so well deserved, that thanks badge, the highest honor that we can bestow on adults. And you are fantastic role models. And I just want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart, and for all of girls in Maine that you have dealt with, you have worked with, you have laughed with, and you have cried with, and most of all, you have led to amazing experiences. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to say thank you too, because I don't think any of us do this for the awards. I know we don't. We do it because we love it. We truly just do it to share our passion and our joy. And actually, when I got the notification, I'm like, I already shared. I'm like, what am I getting a picture for? Like, I really didn't believe, because this is just things we do. We just do this because we enjoy it.
Well, it shows absolutely that you enjoy it, and again, you're a treasure to us. So thank you all so very much.